So imagine building a Facebook ad campaign that prints money, even if you don't have a big audience, a fancy funnel, or a marketed team. In 2025, info business are winning by flipping the script on how we think about low ticket versus high ticket offers. And today I'm breaking down exactly how. Okay, it sounds too fancy, it sounds like I'm a guru or something, but if you think I'm lying or something, you can drop here in the comments because we're going to cover everything. Firstly, we're going to see the whole structure that you should have in terms of funnel buildment and pricing strategy to then afterwards check the real campaign structure. If you want just to jump to the campaign structure, I'm going to drop the timestamps here. You can check here below of this video, okay? Because we're going to check all the structure necessary to create a Facebook ad sales campaign in 2025 for info business, okay? So let's check that one out. All right, so how to create Facebook ad sales campaign in 2025 for info business, okay? When it comes to sales campaigns for info business, we can tackle it with low ticket offer or high ticket offer, okay? Or even with evergreen or launches. If you go with a low ticket offer, you need to understand the following. If you don't have a huge audience, a huge warm audience, it has to be a unique offer, okay? It has to be something very specific to outstand the competitors and something extremely focused because offers that promise a lot of different things work better for a higher ticket, okay? Let's stick with the low ticket offer if you have something super specific. You don't need to create a plethora of different bonuses. You just need that, okay? So also, if you run a low ticket offer as a front end, you need more ways to increase your profit using other offers such as other bumps and upsell offers, okay? They work better as an evergreen offer, these low ticket offers here, okay? They are better for evergreen, right? But you can use it interchangeably with high ticket offers. So for example, you have a front end low ticket product running on an evergreen basis and a high ticket that you launch from 3 to 3 months, or you just have a low ticket offer with some good back end product and run as an evergreen offer, but you can do promotions from time to time that works like launches. So you can see even using a low ticket offer, you can use promotion and launches to kind of work as launches too. Now, if you go with a high ticket offer, generally you need a full warm up process or a huge following. The huge warm up process can be done with webinar, live, or in launches, okay? Like I said before, these things in the info space work similar to promotions on e-commerce space, okay? They're very crucial, okay? There's something that I should emphasize here because there are a lot of people thinking that you can create a automatic funnel that is going to run automatically forever, but unfortunately these days these things don't happen anymore, okay? Nowadays what happens is if you have an evergreen offer and everything is automated. It's not so automated because, like I said before, you need to do promotions, you need to do live webinars or something, okay? Because you can have an evergreen offer and create a webinar, just Q&A to answer your followers or something. With that, it's kind of like a promotion that you're doing weekly, you see? So it's like having an evergreen offer, but doing promotions. You see, you always have to tackle this from different angles because there's no more such a thing of just running ads and live the fun of stand there and you're going to have profit forever. No, 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 no. It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. And the sales page for this one and the content structure for this type of course, it doesn't have to be like the low ticket off, which is extremely focused. This one, it has to be longer. You can put bonuses there because it's a all done for you type of service thing, right? So can include testimonials, a plethora of them. They cover everything. And high ticket can also be one-on-one coaching recommended if you were starting, okay? Because if you're starting, they don't know you, but they want your attention. They want you grab them by the hand and teach them everything step by step. It's just better than a course, especially if you have a high ticket offer, right? Because they need to trust you even more. So I would recommend if you're starting and have a high ticket offer, I recommend you to do a one-on-one coaching, okay? And you might be wondering which one to start, a low ticket offer or a high ticket offer. And this is really depends of the level of knowledge that you can deliver, okay? So if you have a extremely focused knowledge and it is something super short, I would recommend a low ticket offer. But if you want to sell a real transformation, a full transformation, I would recommend a high ticket offer covering everything. But it would be better if you be selling that as a one-on-one coaching, right? All right, so when it comes to the campaign structure, always optimize per purchase volume. Purchase value, when you have more offers, and have a great volume of them. We're going to see in the field that we can choose whether we want to optimize for purchase volume or purchase value. But purchase value, it doesn't work all the time. You need to have like a great volume of sales. I would say like more than 40 sales per week in order to try to optimize per purchase value, and obviously with different offers, because if you just have one offer, you just have one value. So there's no way, there's no reason to optimize for purchase value, okay? Okay, so the campaign is structured for low ticket offers in that case. You can start targeting cold audience if you have the focused outstanding offer, or otherwise start by getting some followers, okay? Because for the sales campaign, you don't have to start anything crazy. Not more than the double of the ticket price per day as budget. Also, use 2 to 3 audiences or ad sets, whatever you want to call it. Once you surpass the ticket price on some ad set and don't have purchase, rotate to another audience, okay? Also, I recommend 1 to 3 ads, but with more ads, the better, with different angles. So, three three is a good start, but I would recommend even more, okay? All right, so the campaign structure for the high ticket offer, I would recommend to start with the launch, as I said previously, right? So you need actually a lead gen campaign before that. And I have another video explaining how to create a lead gen campaign, but this video is in regards to sales campaign. So for the high ticket offer sales campaign, the campaign structure is targeting your entire warm audience or leads that subscribe to the event. So we're going to have only one ad set or different ad sets targeting different persons from the warm audience. It really depends off your audience size, okay? But if you don't have more than 10K of leads or followers, you shouldn't care with that, okay? So usually the campaign structure is targeting your entire audience, right? You keep targeting them. What it just changes are the ads used as closing cart ads or last day ads, okay? I have another video explaining the full process on how to run a launch ads for your launch, okay? So you can check that one out in the description. But for now, let's jump to the ads manager and see how you can create those sales campaigns. All right, first things first, let's start with the basic. Let's start hitting the create button, this green one over here, okay? I'm assuming that you have everything installed, that you have your pixel installed on your page, on your Kajabi, on ClickFunnels, on WordPress, or whatever platform you're using. If you don't know how to do this, I have another video teaching you how to install your pixel, okay? But I'm assuming that you have everything prepared. Ad account created, pixel created, pixel installed, okay, and purchase event is firing. If you have all those things, you can start by creating the sales campaigns, okay? Also, if you have strategize your offer as we discussed here, such as low ticket, high ticket, evergreen, or launch, okay, you need to strategize all of that before creating a sales campaign, okay? So let's hit the sales. Let's hit continue. Let's stick with the manual sales campaign. I prefer those for info product business, okay? So let's click continue, okay? You can decide whatever name you want for your sales campaign, okay? So new sales campaign, it's fine for me. Buying type, it's auction. Campaign objective is sales. We don't need to change that. Campaign spending limit, we're just going to create one campaign, and our limit will be our budget. So I wouldn't care with that right now. I would turn on the Advantage campaign budget, which means that the budget will be distributed automatically across the ad sets, okay? The daily budget, it will depend off your offer. If it's a high ticket offer, obviously I would recommend a higher budget, but it depends also off the size of your audience, okay? But for a low ticket offer, as I said previously, no more than 2 times off your product price, right? So per day, obviously. And for the warm audience, it will depend off your list size. So set a budget and keep an eye out on a frequency, because the frequency will dictate of how much you are spending, off like off the volume of the budget. If it's too much, like if the frequency is above 3, maybe your budget's too high, okay, for a warm audience, which is a smaller audience. Obviously for cold audiences, your budget is never too much, but that's why I recommend for the low ticket offer using cold audiences a not more than 2 times off your product price, right? So let's jump over here on budget scheduling. You don't need to touch that so far. Increase your budget during specific days or times, unless you have a super specific offer that's going to happen a certain time of the day. But I don't see why you want to change that, especially now if you're starting, okay? So A/B test, we don't need to A/B test here in Meta. You can A/B test differently, testing just different creatives, okay? So audience segment reporting, we don't need to touch that so far, but this is a really interesting thing. But maybe you can search audience segment by John Loomer, or even audience segment by me. I explain how to do this, but it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter right now. This is for the future for better tracking. Okay. Special ad categories. You don't need to touch that because you're selling information. Even if you're within the financial products, employment, housing, social issues, it doesn't matter because you're selling information. You're selling those things properly. You're teaching other people how to do things related to that. But even if you're working with that, it's not you're not selling houses if you're a real estate coach. Okay. It really depends. But check your niche, but I don't think you should select one of these. Okay, so let's hit the next button over here. Okay, now we're going to decide your audience and your optimization, what event we're going to optimize for. So hit website because in general we use website. Okay, we don't use app or website. App and massive destinations, calls and website and calls. This is a sales campaign on a website, right? So maximize number of conversion. That's the thing. That's the thing that I explained earlier, okay? Because you can maximize the value of conversions. But like I said before, it's only if you have more than one offer and you have more than 40 conversions within a week, okay? So let's stick with maximize number of conversions. Data set, okay? So select the data set that you created, okay? You probably already have created that. Now, the conversion event is purchase. Obviously, you can create a specific custom event that represents a purchase, but let's stick with the purchase event, okay? So dynamic creative, we don't want to use that right now, but I have another video talking about dynamic creatives, okay? But the start date and end date, it really depends if you're running a launch. Obviously, you have an end date, but if you're running evergreen offer, it's evergreen, so there's no end date, right? Okay, audience controls, okay, it's here that you're going to decide your country, okay? So it really depends of your market. Also, minimum age can be 18. It depends off your audience. You should study your audience and then decide your age range and gender, right? So and here we have the Advantage Plus audience, okay? So what happened here is that Meta wants to use our audience segmentation as just as suggestions, not to use the audience entirely. So your audience will be just a suggestion. So if you're starting, and especially if you're working within a very narrow market, I would suggest to switch to original audience options. And from here, you'll see that you have the same options as before, but right now we can target exactly what we want, exactly within the age range that we want. But before, the age range was just a recommendation starting with 25, and now we can decide whatever age range we need. Aside of the advantage detailed targeting, we're going to choose a targeting here. Let's say games. Okay, we're going to decide on to target games, and it's not going to only target this interest. It's going to target a little bit more. So we don't have an option to strictly target that. It's always going to be a not a suggestion in this case. They're going to target that, but they will expand a little bit to other type of audiences, unfortunately. Okay, but well, who knows? Maybe Meta knows more than us. Okay, so let's move forward, and the placements that will really depend, but as we're just optimizing. So the placements, I don't know if you're aware of the placements, but they're basically the places where your ads will be shown. As you can see here in the manual placements, we have Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, and Messenger. And then we have all these categories. You have all these feeds, Facebook, Instagram feeds, Instagram Explorer Home, Messenger Inbox. We have all of that. Okay, so I would recommend you to stick with the Advantage Plus placements, which is all the placements. Let Meta optimizes that because we're optimizing the purchases. We want purchases regardless of the placement, okay? And your ad it should fit. Your ad should fit all your ad should fit all the placements, okay? So be assured of that to create a square image, landscape image, and vertical image. If you don't have that type of image, you can crop on Meta. Okay, let's hit next. And here you're going to give your ad name. You're going to choose your Facebook page or Instagram account. Be assured that these two are connected. If there's only a page but there's not your ID here, you would need to connect your IG to your page. So be assured to do that. Okay, I have another video teaching how to do that. You just need to check for how to connect Instagram account and type the media buyer for coaches, and you're going to find this video. But anyways, okay, and let's decide a destination. This is your sales page, okay? So let's put just google.com as an example here. All right, so now it's time to set up the creative. Let's say if you have a video or image, okay? So let's choose the media, right? Um, Ignore the site link thing. If you the site link, it's something that you're going to add. If you're just once you want to scale your campaign, you want to detail even more, tackle with different angles, use other websites, but actually you're going to use other arguments, and you're going to send to similar pages, but don't do that right now, especially if you're starting. Let's select the media. You should upload a media. I'm going to select something random here, and then going to hit next and skip continue. Then you're going to check your ad format across all the platforms. As you can see, my ad will fit in square format if I crop that properly. Okay, the subtitle is showing up and my face is entirely showing up. So be aware when you're recording your video to fit in all formats. Okay, let's hit next. Okay, now we're going to type your ad copy over here. Okay, you're going to hit to type your headline over here. Okay, and then you're going to type your description over here, but your description is not so important. It doesn't show to all the placements, but obviously it's important too. Call to action, learn more, or just it depends, but I think learn more, it's okay. It's not sign up. It depends if is signing up for a membership, a paid membership. It really depends, really depends. But I would stick with learn more and hit next, and that's it. So I will turn off all these auto advantage plus creative enhancements because I want my ads extremely focused to what I want to show. Okay, let's hit done, and boom, your ad is practically created. Let's scroll down a little bit and check the advantage plus creatives. Click here on edit and check all of them and see if all of them make sense for your business. Okay, relevant comments, it's okay, but visual touch-ups, it depends. If you're a designer pro, you don't want Meta touching up your image, right? But it really depends. If you don't care, that's okay. The text, it really depends. If you don't want your text swapping across the primer text, headline, and description, so you can turn it off too. All right, so click here on save, and also let me see, even details, that it really depends if you're running a launch. This is an interesting language. Is not something, it really depends if you're running multiple countries and you want a automatic translation, but I would create a different ad tailored for this specific language. So I would generally turn it off even if I want to run this in other countries. Okay, unless I just wanted to test the thing. But anyways, tracking, this thing will be checked. You need that check to track all the events that are going to happen on your website. Okay, the URL parameters, it really depends if you're using a Google Analytics. If you're using Google Analytics, okay. So let's click here on publish. Okay, and boom, your sales campaign will be created. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Cast a spell on your bone. And the spell says, those who do not subscribe to this channel will never reach a return ad spend over 2. You've got no option, my friend, and I see you in the next one. Subscribe, don't wait, hit that button for real. Transform your hustle, make the most of the deal. Clicks and leads from the screen to the sky. Media buyer for coaches, take your biz on a high. Course creators gather, ain't no time to lag. Ads sharpened up like a knife in a drag. Content so slick, make your wallet go swoon. Meta algorithms got you rich by noon.